What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. That includes movies and video games and TV shows and comic books. And right now I want to talk about Survivor Winners at War, Episode 5. That's right. I know Episode 6 comes on tonight. I'm a week behind. This has been a habit. Like I said, I'm getting my master's degree, and I'm actually taking a break from writing a paper right now. So got a really full plate right now. Especially I'm coordinating online learning with my students right now because of the coronavirus. So just a lot happening. But that being said, Winners at War Episode 5 was a really strong episode, even though I did not like the outcome. Now, I do have problems with Winners at War, and I'm going to get to that in a second. I do have a very big problem with Winners at War. But again, it was a strong episode in the sense that it was an entertaining episode. I was entertained from the time it came on till the time it went off. I was enjoying myself because these are all characters that I love to spend time with, right? These are all characters that I love to spend, not all, but the vast majority of them are all characters I love to spend time with. And this episode definitely gave us a lot of those entertaining moments. Yul continues to shine as a social player, which doesn't surprise me, from what he did in Cook Islands. But I think that what everybody's going to be talking about in this episode is Rob. Now, that's partially because Rob got voted out in this episode. But I think the big thing about Rob that we saw in this episode was that he did not change his gameplay from Redemption Island. And really, I think you could make the case that he hasn't changed his gameplay since All-Stars. All-Stars, he was ultra aggressive. He was very aggressive, and yeah, he didn't do the buddy system in All-Stars, but he was very aggressive. Heroes versus villains. I think he changed his gameplay a little bit in the sense that he became more of a heroic figure as opposed to a villainous figure, even though he was on the villains tribe. I think that Heroes versus Villains is where he really showed a lot of his talent in challenges and puzzles, etc. But he got taken out early in Heroes versus Villains because of the villainous Russell. So we didn't really get to see a lot of his gameplay other than the chance that he remade himself as a bit of a heroic figure. But then we go into Redemption Island. Locked everybody down. Buddy system. I mean, it was very much a Robocracy. And that was what he tried to do in Winners at War. Clearly, he tried to put Adam and Ben on lockdown, making sure that they did not communicate with the girls, with Sarah and Sophie. Now, what's really surprising to me is that he thought this lockdown would work, even though, we all know that these survivors, when they tape their confessionals, they're taken away from camp, and they're gone for an extended period of time to tape their confessionals. And, even though he thought that this buddy system would work, even though he was inevitably going to be taken away from the four of them to tape this confessional. And I think that in his head he was thinking, okay, Adam will be accountable to Ben, Ben will be accountable to Adam. There's no way that both of them are going to turn. And I think that was an error on his judgment, right? I think that was an error on judgment. I think that Rob would have been much better off trying to cut deals with the girls. Instead, he tried to stay Sally strong. And it just didn't work out for him because it was very evident that these four players were going to vote him out. And I knew the second that they lost that challenge, Rob's gone. Because Ben and Adam were not fans of Rob. They were looking for ways to get rid of Rob all along. Now they had the votes to do it. So that's disappointing because Rob was my number one pick to win. Now in my predicted boot list, I had him predicted very low. I think he actually made it a little further than I predicted that he would make it. But in my list of favorite players from this season, the ones that I would most like to see win, I had Rob at number one. He's the one that I wanted to win. And now it looks very unlikely that that's going to happen. which is unfortunate. But on the flip side, my number 2 and my number 3 most favorite to win are still in the game. Number 2 is Parvati. I think she's going to be gone soon. What can you do? And number 3 is Tony. And I think Tony has actually positioned himself very well to win this game. And he's got a huge shield protecting him right now. And that shield is named Sandra. And I think before anybody tries to make a move on Tony, they're going to try to make a move on Sandra. And honestly, I feel like Kim could potentially end up being a shield for him as well. Even though Kim is kind of ingratiating herself with the other tribe members, I really think that Kim could end up being a shield for Tony as well. So Tony is my 3rd most favorite to win. And I think he might actually have a real shot at this. Fingers crossed. I would love to see Tony win twice. Because he's one of my favorite players of all time. I just love the Spice Shack from Cagayan. I just can't get over that. So, yeah. So, Parvati, I think, is on her way out, though. I don't think she's in a good position. I feel like the boys are going to stick strong together, even though Nick has his little crush on her. Definitely feel like the boys are going to stay strong. There's really no reason for the boys to flip over to Parvati and Michelle. And Parvati's going to be the first one out because she's the biggest target. But let's talk a little bit about Winners at War as a whole. It's been fun. It's been very entertaining. But I haven't seen anything in this that is earth-shattering gameplay. Right now, it's been very predictable. Outside of the first vote-off, Natalie, it's been the outnumbered old-school players getting picked off one at a time by the new schoolers. Pretty predictable, really. Amber, old schooler. Ethan, old schooler. Danny, old schooler. Rob, old schooler. It's like the new schoolers who have the old schoolers outnumbered. They are teaming up. Tyson is an old schooler. They're teaming up to take out the old schoolers. That's clearly what's happening. And there's not a coincidence in that. So we really haven't seen that big gameplay yet. We haven't seen any huge, exciting, earth-shattering moves because they haven't had to do it because they've had the numbers. They're taking out the old schoolers. Maybe eventually we'll see some of those big-time, earth-shattering moves that we would expect players of this caliber to make. But right now it's been a pretty subdued game as far as big moves are concerned. Yeah, Rob tried to make a big move with his buddy system. It didn't work for him. And I didn't think it would. But as of right now, we really haven't had any advanced gameplay. It's been take out the old guys. So while it's been entertaining and it's been fun to watch, it hasn't really... At this point, it won't really rank up there as the great seasons because it's just been kind of subdued as far as gameplay is concerned. A lot could change. We're still early on. We're only about a third of the way through the season, so a lot could change. But as of right now, it's kind of a middling season as far as gameplay is concerned. Just the way I feel. How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comments down below. How did you feel about episode 5? What do you think about Rob getting voted out? What do you think about the fact that Extinction Island wasn't featured at all? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I appreciate you being here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.